Hi, it's Bill, the knee pain guru. Today is Thursday, June 6th. Today we're going to talk about the top 3 tips for knee pain when squatting. We're going to get to that presentation in just a moment. If you have questions about your knees, knee pain, doctors, your diagnosis, physical therapist, exercise, whatever it is, please put that in the comments section over on the side, and I'll get to those right after the presentation. And if you give the video a thumbs up, like and subscribe to my channel, as well as turn on notifications so you're aware of the upcoming videos that I do. Do them twice a week, Mondays and Thursdays, 9:55 a.m. Eastern Time on various topics. A lot of the topics I choose from the comments that are put in from the videos that I do. So it behooves you to ask questions, leave comments. So now we're going to get into the top 3 tips for knee pain when squatting. And there's a distinction here in terms of squatting. You can be squatting with weight. So you're at the gym, you have weights on your shoulders, or you're carrying some sort of weight and you're doing squatting type of motions, or you can be squatting without weight. It's a distinction. It's important to really get to the crux of what you're dealing with and understanding that you're squatting without weight and it's causing pain. That's really what this video is going to be addressing. So if you're squatting with weight and it hurts, try squatting without weight and see if it still hurts, and then we can begin working from that place. So there's 3 areas, and this is part of the 3 tips, that you want to pay attention to in terms of zeroing in on knee pain when squatting. The first is your breath. A lot of times when we're experiencing pain, there's the anticipation of pain, and we're moving into an area of our body in our movement that we're not so sure about. We will hold our breath. And how this plays in with the knee pain is the holding of the breath increases the tension in the body. When the tension is increased in the body squeezes closer together. When the body squeezes closer together, it irritates the nerves. So if you have a tension pattern that is going from your feet all the way up to the top of your head that is already tight before you begin to squat, and now you squat and you hold your breath, the knees are just the weakest series of tension from the head to the feet. So what you can do is begin to focus on your breathing to relax the tension in your body. Continue breathing through the squatting motion and see if that changes the tension of what's going on in your body and if the pain is relieved. So that's tip number 1. Tip number 2 is the angle of your pelvis. A lot of times what we end up doing is we're in a seated position a lot, and then we get up from that seated position with our body, our hips and our lower back is holding on to a tension pattern of being in that squatted position for an extended period of time. In that position for an extended period of time, the body can get dehydrated. There is tension patterns that the body can take on because you're dealing with stressful situations while you're in that seated position. Now your body locks onto that, and then you try to get up. You try to move, and squatting, getting down to pick up something off the floor, it can create pain in the knees. So playing around with rocking forward and back, moving your pelvis forward and back when you're squatting to see if the angle of the pelvis changes the tension in what's going on in the knee. Because a certain tension pattern that's going on in the hips can affect how the knees feel. And we adjust that tension pattern in the pelvis, and then the knee pain can go away. So that's tip number 2. And then the third tip tips for knee pain when squatting is looking at the angles of your feet. There's a lot to it. There's a lot of nuance in understanding why the pain is showing up in your knees and not another place in your body. Could be we're focusing on the knees. But you're looking at the angles of your feet. A lot of times when there is tension in the hips and the lower back, it'll affect the angle of the feet. The more the feet are out, there's a better chance that there's going to be pain in the knees when we squat. And as we position the feet and continue doing the squat, to test the squatting to see if the angle of the feet begin to change how the knees feel. So there's 3 things to look at. You have your breath, you have the angle of the pelvis, and you have the angle of the feet. Those 3 variables we could begin to look at to determine what position the body needs in to begin to create comfort, so the pressure doesn't go all the way down into the knees and cause you pain. So those are the 3 tips for knee pain when squatting: the breath, the pelvis, and the feet. Okay, if you have questions, please ask them over in the comments section over on it's to my right, may not be to yours. But if you have questions about your knee pain, surgery, doctors, physical therapists, exercise, whatever it is, please enter those in over in the comments section. We have one question that came in from Dennis. How do you get rid of stiffness of knee surgery? Okay, Dennis, that's a good question. It's important to understand the stiffness that is happening as a result of knee surgery is by getting to a place to go that your body's been through a trauma before you went for surgery, and then the surgery from the trauma. And whenever the body has been through a trauma, it tenses up to protect itself. Normal, natural response to an experience like that. And when the body tenses up to protect itself, it's naturally going to become more stiff. So from a baseline level, getting that understanding of what's going on in your body is helpful to develop a strategy to get rid of the stiffness after a surgery, or even if you didn't have a surgery. So in understanding it's a trauma, there is a neurological pattern that has developed in the knee, the knees, the legs, the hips, and the lower back that is essentially kind of like driving around your car with your foot on the gas and the foot on the brake at the same time. It's difficult for the car to go. And by understanding how to get the foot off the brake, the car will go much easier. And it's the same thing with stiffness after knee surgery. If we learn how to create comfort in the knee by getting the pressure off of the nerves that are causing the pain, we give relief to the knee joint, which causes the knee joint to relax. When the knee joint relaxes, that means there's more space. It's going to be less stiff. It's going to be more comfortable. And it's going to be easier to move. Dennis, let me know if that thought process is landing for you. If you would like to learn how to do that, and Sterling writes, how long after, and it looks like enter might have been hit too soon. Let me get the website here, my website. And I have a 7-day knee pain reduction challenge that you could begin working with, where I teach you my approach to relieving knee pain, which is beginning to change the neurological signaling. When the knee hurts, there is a tension pattern that's going on in the neurology of your body, your nervous system essentially, that's telling the knee and the body and the legs to hold on a certain way to protect the knee from getting injured further. The more we push the body in that place, the faster we're essentially strengthening a neurological dysfunction, a dysfunctional tension pattern in the body. So the more we can create comfort in the knee, in the hips, in the lower back, in the ankles and the feet, what ends up happening is we create more space, more neurological autonomy, where the body can move. The neurology has more give to it, which is why you feel so tired and fatigued after, Dennis, I had knee surgery. I tore the ligament in my left knee. I had reconstructive surgery on the ligament in my left knee. They took out 2 pieces of meniscus. And I remember after that experience, I'd get up in the morning, I'd be exhausted. By 10 o'clock in the morning, I was exhausted because my body was constantly on this in a hyper alert place because of the trauma that was stuck in my leg from 4 knee dislocations and from the surgery and from all of the, walking around like I was on stilts the entire time. So the more I began to learn and study about creating comfort in my knee, it began to set up the conditions so my body can let go of that tension and I can move easier. I can recover faster. And that's the big thing. When the body gets locked into that neurological pattern, it can't recover. It's stuck in this place. And 9 times out of 10, people with knee pain are type A, and they have a huge laundry list of things that they need to do. They're very active people. They are not lazy people. What ends up happening is they will try a whole host of different things to get the pain out of their knee. But the more they try, the less results they get because it's not what their body needs. So the more you try to strengthen your legs, the more you try to stretch what's going on, the more you try to push through what you're dealing with, the less results you're going to get because the body is saying it wants something different. And until you begin to understand that signaling that's coming from the dashboard, if you will, which is the signals from your nervous system, until you give your body what it needs, you're still going to be struggling in that same sort of pattern because you're giving it the wrong thing. It's like you need brake fluid in the car, but you keep pouring oil in the car. And now the car won't stop and you have too much oil. Okay, Sterling says, how long after surgery should be able to walk after tibia surgery? There are a number of different types of tibia surgeries. That's going to depend on so many different factors. How much water you drink in, how's your diet, are you doing the physical therapy, what did your doctor say, what type of tibia surgery is it? We can't just give like time frames and say this is how long it's going to take, because everybody is different. Everybody's commitment level to doing the work is different. And then are they doing the right work? Not everybody would subscribe to the same sort of rehab approach and is not going to be as committed to that rehab approach. It's going to be all over the board. It's difficult to say. You had plates and screws. What did your doctor say? How long you should be able to walk? When was your surgery and where are you at in terms of walking? So while we're waiting for that answer, if you like the video, give it a thumbs up, like and subscribe to my channel, as well as turn on notifications. Head over to my website and take my 7-day challenge. That'll give you a week's worth of education on my approach of what I'm talking about, which works with stiffness after knee surgery, which works with a tibial plateau fracture where you had an operation, there were plates and screws put in your knee or in the tibia on the lower part of the leg to get it to heal. So there is the whole goal of it is to create comfort. When the body is comfortable, your ability to recover, your ability to move, your ability to walk and stand without pain is going to speed up, because now you're not in opposition to what your body wants. You want to be comfortable, your knee wants you to be comfortable. And if you learn how to give your knee comfort, then your ability to recover after any sort of experience, knee surgery or whatever it is just going to be sped up. And that's a little bit of an oversimplification of what I'm talking about, because we also need to look at the setting up the conditions in the body: water, nutrition, breathing, supplementation, mobility, stretching, exercise. There's a lot to that, as well as mindset, because a lot of times we will do things we don't need to do that actually put the knee back into pain. Okay, we don't see any more questions coming in. If you have a question, put those in over on the side. I will answer those about your knee surgery, knee pain, whatever you have going on. I'll be happy to answer those. And if you have not already, head over to my website. I've put it in the comments section, thekneepainguru.com, and take the 7-day knee pain reduction challenge. That will give you one stretch to begin working with to get relief in your knee. It is just the beginning. It's a sample, tip of the iceberg, that begins to teach you a different way of how to get in alignment with your nervous system's ability to relieve the pain on its own, instead of fighting it to do so, instead of pushing through it. No pain, no gain. Pain is weakness leaving the body. Now we're working in alignment with your body's ability to heal. Okay, still hoping. Can't put weight on it 2 months after. Still in a lot of pain from Trinidad and Tobago. You still can't put weight on it because the doctor said you can't put weight on it, or you still can't put weight on it because the pain is so much you can't put weight on it? That's two different reasons. And you'll notice, if you follow, which turn on the notifications so you'll get notified of future videos, you will notice the specificity of the questions that I'm asking are for a reason. And it's getting to a point that helps you understand where you're at in your healing process. Many times when I see across the board, many people with knee pain do not have an understanding of where they are in their healing process. And there are specific mile markers you need to achieve in order to continue to get the body to heal. You have to do certain steps in a certain order in order to get the outcome that you want. So if you want to squat without pain, if you want to walk without pain, if you want to be able to stand and not have any problems, or sit and not have any problems, we have to have certain things addressed first to remove out of the way, so then we can build on that. Doctor told me to put weight on it, but it hurts a lot. So the doctor gave you permission, but you can't put the weight on it. So that's a completely different scenario. My answer is going to be completely different than if the doctor told you not to. So if the doctor said it's okay, but it hurts a lot, then we have a tension pattern going on in the knee that doesn't allow for compression. Tension patterns can be in a joint, any joint, in two different ways. They can be in compression and they can be in extension. And it sounds like what's going on in your leg is the tension pattern in your leg from the injury and the surgery is in extension, which means if you compress that tension pattern, it's going to hurt more, which is what you're dealing with. My best suggestion And my best way to help you out would be to head over to my website, take my 7-day knee pain reduction challenge, and then what we can do is, based on your results from that, noticing these changes in the neurological signaling as a result of introducing comfort in your knee, we can then go from there to get the best fit of product or program that I offer to help clients get them out of pain. Okay. Thank you so much. You're welcome, Sterling. Thank you so much. This is Bill Paravano, the Knee Pain Guru, appreciating you for being here. Thank you for Dennis and Sterling for asking the questions that you wrote. Remember to give the video a thumbs up, like and subscribe to my channel, as well as turn on notifications. Our next video is going to be next Monday. Thanks a lot. I will see you then.